In the previous lesson, when we used view model, we saw two variants of storing state in the view model. Actually, we saw even variant to store state in the GUI, in compose functions. But with tip calculator example, it is main version of it that is using state flow to store state of the GUI. Right? And we had one object inserted into reinserted into state flow when it's not the same object, because we had to insert new copy of the object each time when state is changing. So this is following Google recommendation, like brute force, the most direct way, like religiously. But what I mentioned before, even Google don't do it always all the time in the examples. So sometimes they have an object that is storing many variables together, and also other variables. And they're not directly related. So I would say we just need to follow common sense when we apply this logic. Google is pushing technology such way that they switch to using state flow in view model. So perhaps state variables like mutable state and just state, how we did it in example, it is not best optimal choice. It's one of the reasons. Maybe they push state flow. And most likely explanation is different, that it's easy to integrate other technologies that already existing if we use state flow. For example, access to database. And newer technologies, for example, using, what's this called? Data. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Saving properties, saving settings in app. I forgot the name of this technology. Because both can use flow, and flow is easy to connect to state flow. It appears like they use state flow and merging flows and processing flows as a way to implement business logic reactive way. So it is probably the reason why they encourage use state flow. A previous technology that was before in use, and it wasn't long ago, it was like, I assume like 5 years ago, it was new cool kid in town. It was called, and it's still called live data. Live data technology is similar to state flow. It's a container that you can observe with code. So when content is changing, something is executed, like screen update. Issue with live data is that it is not Kotlin, not pure Kotlin. It is Android code, so it is harder to test it outside of Kotlin, outside of Android system or Android emulator. Also, live data is harder to separate from GUI because it has life cycle. When you need to extract data, you need to set up life cycle owner, which makes it integrated into GUI. Also, live data is easier to use with older GUI or view-based GUI, but it doesn't make much sense with Compose, although it's possible to do. There is a function to convert it to state. So this is what I wanted to say about live data at this moment compared to state flow. Also, issue with live data objects that we cannot do live data transformation outside of GUI thread. If the live data transformation, like you process the data, that takes some significant computational power. It will hog GUI thread, and it will be at the expense of updating the screen. So for this reason, maybe it's another reason why live data is almost out. You can see it in some examples from Google, but they phase it out. So just for you, just technology live data exists. Look it up if you care, and if don't invest too much time in learning it, because it is on the way out. So current cool kid in town is flow in stateflow. So this is why we will use this one. Okay. So let's continue. In week 4, I made a paper rock scissors example to demonstrate flow using view model, and I'm not sure if what kind of data. I don't remember what kind of object I use. I assume it is stateflow. So let's see and how it is done there, how screen is updated. And also this application has technically 2 pages. There are 2 versions of it. I have 2 branches in this program. One is called simplest, and it is the one that I will explain today. A main branch is using pages explicitly, using navigation framework of Android. And navigation framework of Android, it is topic for next week. It is reasonably straightforward when we have simple applications, but it can become complicated if we want to create view models per screen. Because we have only option to create view models per screen, if we use dependency injection with Hilt. So this is current technology state. So if we want to use view model associated not for entire app, but for screen, and it does make sense sometimes do it per screen, because why would, if you have a lot of screens, why would you share data from some other screen into the same object? What current technology is such a way that it is implemented with dependency injection using Hilt. So we'll have to explain that before we start using it. So again, this is a logistic system, how to arrange course such way that you explain things before they're used. So let's